start us out with an opening statement?
Well, it's kind of unbelievable what these kids have accomplished and what they continue to do. The credit goes to all the kids, the assistant coaches, and our fans. And you don't get many opportunities like this. And we're playing a Southeast Conference football team, and we really dominated the football game for most of the time, and we killed ourselves with some penalties, but I'll tell you what, our kids played with relentless effort. Some hurt. The last play Ben Peterson made, it kind of summed it up. He fell down and got back up and sacked the quarterback. So relentless effort by them, and it's got to go down to one of the biggest wins that New Mexico State's had in a long time.
Questions? You're on mute, Colin. Or we can't hear you, at least.
Oh, your wife, they shut you off.
Yeah. Anyone else got questions?
I can't hear it. Oh,
nope. Nobody's audio is coming through. Maybe that's mine. Let's see. Can you hear us now? Go ahead and try it, Colin.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Coach, you mentioned how this is probably one of the biggest wins in NMSU history. You've, I'm sure, had some big wins in your career. Where does this rank for you going on the road to NMSU and beating an SEC team for the first time in program history?
Well, like you said, I've had a lot of great moments, but I'm not going to take this lightly. And it's a huge win, and one of the certainly goes down as one of the greatest wins that I've ever been a part of.
Coach, you guys were 25-point underdogs. Nobody really had you winning this game. What was your mentality, and what did you say to the team leading up to this game?
I said the same thing I've always said, and I didn't preach that we were underdogs. I didn't say we couldn't beat Auburn. I told them we were going to. This is how we're going to do it, and I never hensed in practice. We followed the same principles, and if you do that, and again, you don't turn the ball over, you win, and we didn't turn the ball over.
Coach, that's a top 10 rushing offense you guys went up against today, and you held them just 65 yards. Pretty much kind of stoned them in the run game. Can you just talk about the game plan and approaching this specific rushing attack and how you guys executed in particular?
Well, our coaches, with Nate Dreiling and Melvin Rice in the back end and Nate in the front end, and Nate's done a great job, and we just we were prepared. Our kids were prepared. We prepared up to when we got on the bus today, and we're trying to outwork people, and we spend endless nights. People don't understand. We don't spend 2 or 3 hours preparing for a football game. We'll be preparing, tomorrow for the next one, and we just don't stop. But I just think it's the hard work and watching the film and doing what you need to do to beat them and scheme them up and do your job. And they got our kids doing their job tonight. And we had good pass rush. Our kids just really played hard.
You guys controlled the clock, I think, 38 minutes of ball possession. Just what goes into that? And also, too, at what point in the game did you maybe start feeling pretty good about your chances? I know you're not one that ever kind of lets off the gas pedal, but at what point did you start feeling pretty good?
Really the last snap, until it's over. That's just how I play. But, when we got the onside kick, I was relieved. That's for sure, because if they got the ball back, and that couldn't happen. And our guy that got the ball is a walk-on kid, Jason Hill, and it couldn't happen to a better kid. He's 5'8", 205, walk-on player, and we trust him, and he got it done.
Coach, I know going into the game, Diego was kind of day by day. That's at least how you were treating him. What were the discussions around him playing? He looked pretty healthy. From my perspective, he had a great game. What were the discussions kind of with him going to play or not play, and how is he kind of feeling right now?
Well, they're all hard discussions and hard decisions. He prepared during the week. He got a lot of treatment. Sam Graff, our trainer, there's a lot of people that worked on him. And, I don't know. I think he, had a twinge in the first quarter, first half, and he came to me and, I wanted to take him out. He goes, Coach, I ain't going out. And, we'll have to use some real proper judgment in the next one, because we got to have that kid around. But he's the toughest kid. He's the toughest kid I've ever seen playing quarterback. And Joel Sambursky was a tough one at Southern Illinois. But there isn't anybody I've coached that's tougher than that kid.
Can you talk a little bit, Coach, about that decision to go for the fake punt on 4th and 2, and if you guys kind of had that in the works heading into this game, and when you decided to, kind of pull the trigger there?
We put it in this week, and because I knew that, me and Joey knew that they were going to offset and try to get us on the rush, and they only had 3 people over there, and we'd been working on it all week, worked on it Friday, and, we had it to where, well, I don't want to give everything away, but, we had a situation we could have got out of it. But, here's the deal. I ran a fake punt to beat Purdue back when I was at Southern Illinois, I think. You got to do what you got to do. And in a game like this, you got to keep momentum. And I just felt that it was a great time to call it, and the coaches trust me, and it ended up being a big play in the game.
Talk about your defense, and they were fantastic today, but Nate's and the whole staff have done a pretty good job the last 7 or 8 games of giving you guys a chance pretty much every time out. Just what did you feel like went right for you defensively today?
Well, our defensive line. It all starts up front, and the defensive line played very well. We had pressure on the quarterback. We could bring him forward and get pressure on him. We didn't let him get comfortable. We got him off the spots. And we didn't play very good last week. Nate was pretty upset about the way we played last week. And, I knew that we were going to come into this game and play good defense because, let's put it this way, our defensive meetings and on the field work was very intense.
Coach, in recent weeks, there's been a lot of good locker room celebrations. How did this one compare to the last 2 weeks?
Well, the kids were, we walked in, and I probably shouldn't say it, but, life's short, and I may not be here tomorrow. So I always said, I walked in, I said, hey, we just got $1.7 million to play Southeast Conference teams. So how about that? $1.7 million and winning the game. And so the kids, they're all fired up. They wonder when they're going to get it. They want it to be all NIL money.
Any more questions?
Coach, it feels like we kind of ask this question like every single week, but another really tremendous game, in my eyes at least, from Eli. He had that really clutch contested catch over the middle. Obviously, he gets 1 foot down to the TD to make it 24/7. Keeps talking about the day that he had and kind of every facet of the game.
Well, I can't remember every facet. I'm getting old. But I would tell you that, I think, from the start to the end, our kids felt and they were going to win. And when we left the locker room, I could tell we were ready to play. And I think you can talk about schemes, you can talk about all you want to, but our kids were ready to play. And all I did was ask them to play hard, and they played hard. They played hard. And, Coach Freeze would talk to me a little bit, and he goes, he talked to me when he said, your kids play hard. And I said, well, that's credit to the kids. But we're just playing hard right now. We're not playing perfect, but, we're playing hard.
What do you think of Diego's wrestling move there in the first quarter on the interception that got called back?
I didn't like it. So that answers that question. I don't need my quarterback wrestling. He wrestled enough in high school. He doesn't need to be wrestling now. I already know how tough he is. He doesn't have to prove it anymore. But anyway.
All good. Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.